Welcome to another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Days. I'm Michael Knight, sitting down with Cascia Hall senior Bobby Byers. Bobby, let's start with last season for you guys. 7-4 on the year, lost to Shakota in the first round. But for you, it was a little different because you had to watch the majority of the year from the sidelines, separated your shoulder after week 3. What was that like for you? Obviously, it wasn't great, but at the same time, what did you take away from that experience where you were having to watch the game and help some other guys out?
I think it really made me respect the game more and just how lucky you are to be able to play it. And then obviously once you get sidelined, it stinks, but you have to be there and help others out, help the freshmen, the sophomores out, anyone who needs some help them out, and then you just take mental notes of the game that you can apply to the season.
How excited were you? It's one. It probably is salt in the wound for you to have like spring ball and things like that be canceled because I'm sure you were ready to put the pads back on. How excited are you to get the pads back on, to get some contact in, after missing the majority of last year?
It's going to be huge, especially for me, just to get back into the groove, the grind of it. But I know myself and all our teammates are very excited to get the pads on, be together as a team, most of all also.
Now for you guys this season, and before we get into 2020, let's talk about the off season. Coming off of last year, 7-4, lost to Shakota in the first round, but at the same time, a winning season. But at Cascia, expectations are usually pretty high. What's it like playing on this team and for this school where, the football program has been one of the best in the last 2 decades?
Oh, it's definitely an honor, but it's you got big shoes to fill, and I think the team that we have this year is definitely going to be able to fill them, and I think we'll have a better season than last year.
How has this offseason been challenging? Because, schools were closed down, the weight rooms closed down. How did you guys have to get creative with what you were doing with your off-season workouts to not, be just sitting around doing nothing for the last couple months?
So for spring ball, for spring practice, we had online Zoom meetings with our position coaches, and we just went over plays and our new defensive formation. And so that was cool, but obviously it's not the same as being in person, running over them. So it took a lot of mental toughness and just being able to know what you're doing. So when the time comes that we get on the field, that we won't be a step behind.
For you as a guy who plays wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball, how excited are you for this season? Just simply because from what I've heard, from talking with Coach Medina, the plan is to air it out a little bit more this year. And for you as a wide receiver, you already got a smile on your face. I'm sure you're excited about the possibilities for this season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great season. Last year, we kind of split the pass and run game a little more than we have in the recent years. And we had a really good turnout with our passing game, and he decided to go more of the passing game this year. And I think we got a really good quarterback with Cooper Mullen, and then a really solid wide receiver core, and I think it's just going to work out great.
Now for you, going into this season, going into your senior year, what's something that you've been trying to, other than getting healthy, obviously that's priority one, but what's something you've been working on to get yourself better for this season?
Definitely my conditioning, because in the only games that I played, I cramped a bunch. That took me out of some games, which I really didn't like. So my conditioning was a huge factor in my off season this year to, get my legs under me and not cramp.
Now, Cascia Hall dropping down to Class 2A. The last time they were in Class 2A, they were winning state championships. How exciting is it to not only, be in a new class, but have new opponents, new district, and Class 2A the last couple of years has been one of the deepest classes in Oklahoma. How exciting is it to face some new competition this fall?
It's gonna be great. New teams, new schemes that we have to go over for our defense, and it's definitely gonna put some weight on our shoulders. But I think we'll all be able to handle it, and we're gonna take the competition to the other teams.
Now, finally, dropping down to 2A, Cascia Hall, as we mentioned earlier, one of those programs that, is used to being one of the better ones in whatever class they're competing in. What has to happen for you guys to not only make it back to the playoffs this year, but to go steps further and compete for a gold ball?
I think just our team needs to be tied as a family. If we have good chemistry and good, relationships with ourselves, our teammates, and our coaches, I think that plays a big factor. And I think we're definitely going to get bigger and faster this offseason, so I think that's going to play a big role as well.
Well, Bobby, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I'm glad you're healthy, hoping nothing but the best for you in 2020, and looking forward to seeing what you guys do as Cascia drops down to Class 2A and immediately becomes a threat in that class. So good luck to you and the Commandos this season.
Thank you.
He's Bobby Byers. I'm Michael Knight, and this has been another one-on-one session here at OKPreps Media Days.